and Maple Grove's going to have it.
Right out in front, they score! Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of November 2nd. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. Today on the show, highlights from state soccer and girls tennis, plus state football and section volleyball.
And we'll meet a soccer player from Wayzata who battled back from an injury to help her team reach the state tournament. That's in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Leading off, cross country. Spots in the state meet were on the line at section championships, including Section 5AA. The girls up first at the Section 5AA meet at Anoka High School. St. Michael Albertville's Lizzie Heil races to the win. Her time 18 minutes, 32.7 seconds. About 9 seconds behind Heil is her teammate, freshman Annalise Davis. They help lead the Knights to the team title. Park Center freshman Elizabeth Matson places ninth, and she advances to state. The boys hit the course next in what turns out to be a close team finish. The individual champion is Maple Grove's junior Alex Miley. He wins in a time of 15 minutes, 39.9 seconds. Totino Grace's Kevin Dado qualifies for state as the third place finisher. Here's what Miley had to say after his race.
To get into the state meet would be to get first, so I tried to just go out there and help my team the best I could. So that was our goal from the beginning of the season and towards the end, so I had to work for that.
Centennial edges Mounds View for the boys' team title. Both advanced to state. St. Michael Albertville is third and Maple Grove fourth. Osseo is seventh, Totino Grace ninth, Champlin Park 11th, and Park Center 16th. St. Michael Albertville and Anoka are the girls' team qualifiers. Locally, Grace is fifth, Maple Grove sixth, Osseo ninth, Champlin Park 11th, and Park Center 12th.
The Section 6AA meet may be the state's toughest. The teams gathered at Gale Woods to race for state. The top-ranked Hopkins boys looking for their first section championship since 2002. Wayzata senior Jarrett Carpenter is the individual winner in 15:38.6. Owen Hafe takes second place for Hopkins, his time 15:45.1. Seth Eliasson of Hopkins outkicks Edina's Patrick Roos to take fourth place. Hunter Stack closes fast for eighth place as the Royals win the team title. In the girls' 5K, Minnetonka sophomore Sophie Witcher wins it in 18 minutes, 40.2 seconds. Edina runners take third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place, leaving the Hornets to the team title. Renee Anderson of Hopkins edges Wayzata's Michaela Keller-Miller at the finish. Anderson is seventh, Keller-Miller eighth. The Trojans get 3 in the top 15. Here's what boys champ Carpenter and Hafe from boys team champion Hopkins had to say.
I'm definitely feeling confident. The legs are feeling really good. They're getting better every week. Can definitely feel a little sharper. So I'm really excited to see what happens at state.
It's been our biggest goal since 7th grade, just to make it back to state as much as we can. We made it last year, which was nice, and to make it back this year is everything. To come here and beat all these guys, and it's just great because we have so much respect for this competition.
Some really good boys teams, but only 2 can advance, and that's Hopkins and Washburn. Edina is third with Wayzata 1 point back of the Hornets. Armstrong is 7th, Cooper 8th, and Benilde 10th. Edina easily takes the girls' title with Wayzata heading to state as the runner-up. Hopkins is 5th, Benilde 7th, and Armstrong 8th.
Eden Prairie's 40 straight wins in football included 4 in state championship games. Their magic number to win a 5th straight large class title was 43. They didn't get there. Instead, Totino Grace scores the big win. After a bad punt snapped by Grace, Eden Prairie's J.D. Spielman takes it in for the short touchdown. Eagles lead 7-0 at halftime. To the fourth quarter, Grace trailing 13-6 when Kyle Halverson threads a great pass to Alex Spevacek for the touchdown. Totino Grace ties it at 13. After a long injury delay for an Eden Prairie player, Gayflor Flomo takes it in for the touchdown. Totino Grace leads for good at 20-13. They add another TD, and then this play seals the win. Charlie Waters picks off the deflected pass, and Totino Grace ends Eden Prairie's run.
All week, coaches told us, anything can happen, anything's possible, any team is beatable, and that every streak has to come to an end, and we thought we could be the ones that could do it, so we went out there and did it.
The Osseo football team was back in the state playoffs for the second time in 3 seasons. The Orioles meeting Lakeville North in the quarterfinal round. It's a tough start for Osseo. Malik Gaylord's pass is off to Mario Armstrong's hands and picked off by Jaden Hatt. Hatt gets upfield quickly and brings it back to the Osseo 25-yard line before he is stopped. That sets up a Drew Stewart to Nick Fossey touchdown pass, and the Panthers have a quick 7-0 lead just 4 minutes in. After pulling within 7-3, Osseo goes in front in the second quarter as Gaylord throws it up on target to Armstrong for the TD grab, and it's 10-7 Orioles. Their defense is relentless. George Foley sacks Stewart, although the Panthers keep the ball after recovering his fumble. It's still 10-7 Osseo at the half. Third quarter, and Osseo fools the D as Gaylord finds Christian Tharp for the touchdown, and Osseo goes up 17-7. Late in the third, though, Stewart looking to pass, but he scrambles and then takes off, getting to the 2-yard line to set up a touchdown. It's 17-14 Osseo after 3. But Osseo goes 98 yards with Prince Crua finishing the drive with this run to make it 24-14. Lakeville North scores once more, but Osseo wins 24-21. We'll hear from the Orioles later in the show.
Maple Grove's season ended at Hopkins High School last season in the state 6A semifinals. The Crimson were back to that site, hoping the outcome would be different. Maple Grove's first ever meeting with Burnsville coming in the Class 6A quarterfinals. After a quick Burnsville 3-and-out and a short field to work with, Isaac Collins gets the Crimson on the board, 38 yards for a touchdown on Maple Grove's first play of the game. 7-0 after 48 seconds. Next series, Brad Davison sneaks one in from a yard out. 14-0 Maple Grove, less than 4 minutes in. The Crimson defense shut down the Blaze most of the night. Zion Allen drops Corey Kallstrom for a loss on a fourth down play at the Maple Grove 15-yard line. It's 17-0 at the half. Third quarter, and Davison gets free. He goes 27 yards for a touchdown here. The Crimson add a 2-point conversion to lead 25-0. Collins rushes for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 31-yarder in the fourth quarter as Maple Grove thumps Burnsville 32-14. The Crimson is now 9-2 and will face Eastridge in the 6A semifinals Friday night at Eden Prairie High School. Wayzata qualified for the state Class 6A football playoffs for the first time in 3 years. The Trojans meeting Eastridge of Woodbury for the first time ever. Eastridge having success running the football. Dominic London into the end zone. Raptors up 7-0. They'd go up 14-0 after a quarter. Looking for more, Eastridge turns to the air, but Sam Colpeen picks off a Raptors pass near midfield, and he runs it back deep into Eastridge territory, setting up a Wayzata touchdown. Down 14-7, the Trojans strike again. Jake Marsh, great throw to Tyler Didier, 68 yards and a touchdown. Wayzata ties the game at 14. And they continue to dominate in the second quarter. Foster Conzit with a 1-yard touchdown run. Wayzata's up 21-14 at halftime. Game tied at 21 in the fourth quarter. Marsh hits Grant Slavic for an 8-yard touchdown, and Wayzata leads 28-21. But Eastridge would come back to tie it, and on the last play of the game, Raptors kicker Grant Ryersey boots through a 42-yard field goal, handing Wayzata a tough 31-28 loss. Eastridge is on to the semifinals.
Now to the state girls tennis tournament, where an interesting matchup occurred in the Class A doubles final. It was not only an all-Breck final, but 2 sets of sisters involved. Seniors Anna Zumwinkle and Kendall Kozakowski meeting their younger sisters Lauren Zumwinkle and Kendall Kozakowski. Lauren Kozakowski serves, and after the return, Anna Zumwinkle will use the net to get one past her little sister Grace here for the point. But the juniors rule the day. Lauren Kozakowski serves, and Grace Zumwinkle cuts off the return, then slices a sharp angle shot as they take the first set. The teams have switched sides now, and this is match point. Lauren Kozakowski shows no mercy, hammering the overhead at her sister's feet. Grace Zumwinkle and Lauren Kozakowski take to the match in straight sets.
It was a lot of fun. Like, we battled it out in section finals as well, and both matches were really close, and they played really well.
It was a little bit weird. The umpire said it was probably the first time and probably the last time. It was kind of fun though, knowing your opponents so well. You kind of knew their strengths and weaknesses.
In Class AA first round doubles play, Samantha Stevenson and Haley Bowden of Wayzata facing Minnetonka's Teresa Tebon and Christina Jones. Second set, Bowden serving. Stevenson splitting the skipper's duo there for a Wayzata point. This was a close match, but Minnetonka was a little better. Most of the play on this point between Jones and Stevenson, but Tevon gets the winning shot for the skippers that Bowden can't return. Tonka's Tevon and Jones win 6-4, 7-5. They did lose in the tournament quarterfinals. An all-sisters final in Class AA doubles championship match. Twins Paige and Taylor McLeod of Benilde St. Margaret's defeated Taylor and Caitlin Terrelly of Forest Lake 6-3, 7-5 for the title. Congratulations to those two doubles champions. I guess it helped to be related this year.
Yeah, and playing against your sisters
Yeah,
like Breck, that had to be a little bit strange for them. Next up, section volleyball and state soccer when Sports Jam returns. Welcome back to Sports Jam, and time to turn our attention to the volleyball playoffs.
Hopkins is aiming for a title in Section 6-3A. The Royals facing Armstrong in the quarterfinals. First set, Armstrong on the serve. Tara Lee sets up Jasmine Martin for Hopkins. She'll get a kill, and the Royals have a 16-9 lead. Later in the first, Lauren Clark hitting for Armstrong, but Elise Shoemaker blocks it for the Royals, and they win at 25-18. Falcons keep things close to start the second set. Shelby Johnson with a nice diving shave, and then Kelsey Ripberger setting up Clark for a kill, pulling Armstrong to within 11-7. But Hopkins is too much. Lee with the sneaky dump shot, and the Royals take a 2-0 lead. In the third set, it is all Hopkins. Madeline Gellar's hit will be dug up by Madeline Janenko, but Anna Erickson is there to put it away. Royals win 25-13, and they sweep the Falcons. They're into the semifinals.
In Section 5-3A, top seed Wayzata is aiming for a section championship. The Trojans taking on Buffalo in the quarterfinals. Buffalo gets the nice dig here, but Wayzata's Mackenzie Greshel sets it to Kate Berg with a cross-court hammer, and the Trojans lead 8-3 in the first set. Off a Bison serve, Liz Benson hustles to chase down the errant pass and gives Greshel a nice ball to hit. Greshel gets the kills. Wayzata wins a good first set, 25-21. Second set, and Buffalo gets into the offense after a Wayzata serve, but Berg times the block perfectly to deny Emma Simonson. Wayzata rolls 25-11. In the third set, it's another close one. Wayzata sets up left-hander Anna Kate Gross, and the blockers mistime it. Wayzata is challenged in the first and third sets, but they sweep Buffalo.
Champlin Park is the second-seeded team behind Wayzata in the Section 5-3A tournament. Sydney Hilly and Renee Alderson, two of the best players in the state, leading the Rebels into the quarterfinals against Orono. And Hilly sets up Alderson for this first set kill. The Rebels get out to a quick lead. Izzy Ashburn passes to Hilly, and she'll tap it over. The blockers for a point. Champlin Park wins the first set 25-13. The second set is closer. Ashburn with a back set to Allie Miller for a kill. Rebels up by 1. Later in the set, Marissa Vattendahl-Vidal with an ace serve. And the Rebels win the set 25-23. And they get the sweep this night. Ashburn to Hilly for the attack and kill. Champlin Park moves into Wednesday's semifinals with the win.
It will be an all-local Final Four in Section 5 after two other big wins in the quarterfinals for area teams. 5th seed Osseo knocks off 4th seed Blaine in 4. Tina Bowe with an impressive 31 kills for the Orioles. And Maple Grove sweeps 3rd seed Delano without too much trouble. Lauren Bright has 16 kills for the Crimson. So Wednesday in the semifinals, Maple Grove takes on 2nd seed Champlin Park in the first match, followed by Osseo against top seed Wayzata. Those matches are at Wayzata High School. The championship is Saturday afternoon at Anoka.
Wayzata's girls soccer team drew a familiar foe for the Class AA quarterfinals, the third meeting of the season between Wayzata and Eden Prairie. Scoreless into the second half. Bailee Hyde's crossing pass redirected by Ashley Dillon, but off the post, and it stays scoreless. Later in the half, the Eden Prairie corner kick deflects to Kara Bean, and she drills the shot through traffic and in for a goal. That holds up as the game winner. The Eagles advance to the semifinals and now into the final, ending the Trojan season. We'll meet Bailee Hyde later in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Park Center made the state tournament for the second time in boys soccer. The Pirates battling St. Cloud Tech and the Elements in the Class AA quarterfinals. It's 0-0 until Tech's Muhammad Abdi puts on the brakes and fires a shot off of keeper Salvador Salado and in. With 11 minutes left, it's 1-0 Tigers. They add an insurance goal late on Muhammad Aiden's free kick, and Park Center is eliminated 2-0. The Breck boys soccer team will play into the final week of the season in Class A. The Mustangs facing Sartell St. Stephen in the quarterfinals. Breck attacking, and Avi Eller is tripped in the box, so the Mustangs are awarded a penalty kick, and Eller takes it. He beats the Sabres goalkeeper low to the corner of the net. That gives Breck a 1-0 lead on this snowy night. Later in the first half, Hans Lundgaard gets it to Eller, who controls it and turns and fires a quick shot. A great goal there. Breck builds a 2-0 lead at halftime. Then up 2-1, Reed Goldstein with a corner kick for Breck, and it's headed in by Garrett Opperman. They win 3-1, face top seed St. Thomas Academy in the semifinals on Wednesday. And John, it's been quite a season for the Mustangs.
It looks like it'll be nicer weather this week than it was last Wednesday. That was awful. Next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet a Wayzata soccer player who didn't let an injury stop her from coming back to play. The Wayzata girls soccer team missed the state tournament in 2013 and 2014, but the Trojans fought their way back to state this year with a wild overtime victory in the section final. And the goal that sent Wayzata to state was scored by a player whose season is one of redemption. Jason Melillo has more in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
It's nice to see Bailee Hyde happy on a soccer field.
You know, I guess you could say that, you know, I wonder how her dad feels, because I kind of feel like that proud parent as well, to see someone that had, you know, had a bad injury, and from where they were and from where they've got to, and then, you know, her desire and her ability to work hard, get back to where she's not just playing, she's a key contributor on the team.
Less than a year ago, the Wayzata midfielder tore her ACL at a tournament in Las Vegas.
They had grass fields, and I was backing up to track the ball in the air, and when I backed up, my foot went into a hole, and I just heard this like loud popping sound, and because we had 2 ACL tears last year, high school season, I kind of knew the noise already. So I looked at my mom and I said, my ACL's torn, and of course she was like, no, don't say that, don't say that. But I went to Tria when we flew home, and it was completely torn in half.
The injury was painful and demoralizing, but Hyde dedicated herself to getting better.
Initially they said that playing high school season wouldn't be a possibility because that would only be at 7 months, and they normally don't clear till 9 or 8 or 9. But then I got back from a vacation and I did the functional test, and I was at 4 months and I tested at 8.
You know, they tell you that there's a window of whatever, 6 to 9 months and somewhere in there. And of course, the people like Bailee, they're going to want to push it right to get there to 6 months.
Some people around Hyde told her not to push it, to just accept she would miss her senior season. But as her rehab progressed, Hyde started to have little doubt that she would play for the Trojans this fall.
Because with the ACL, the anatomy of it, it takes a full year for the ACL to completely be developed. And so they were saying by 7 months it's not completely developed, and your risk of re-tearing, it's 52%. And they were throwing these percentages at me, and I kept saying, okay, well obviously I'm not the average patient because I'm at 4 months and I'm testing at 8. So obviously I'm defying some of these statistics. And so when they finally did clear me, you know, my surgeon just laughed and said, you were pushy, but you pushed the right buttons. So I pushed my boundaries a little bit, but just enough to the point I needed to be at.
Hyde's redemption was crystallized when she scored probably the biggest goal of the season for Wayzata, a beautiful left-footed strike in overtime that beat Minneapolis Washburn and sent the Trojans back to state after a 2-year hiatus.
You never want anyone to go through this, and to just get back on the field was even a blessing in itself, but to be able to score and have that just fulfillment of coming back, it really was the icing on the cake, because I was just even happy to play 15 minutes my first game, but to play a full game and then score was unbelievable.
It was amazing. I mean, she worked so hard to come back for this high school season, and I knew she just wanted it so badly, and it was amazing to see her do that, and we were all really happy for her.
Wayzata's season and Bailee Hyde's time as a high school soccer player came to an end in the first round of the state tournament. but it's safe to say Hyde is beyond grateful to have had one last season with her Wayzata teammates. Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
The state Class AA girls soccer final is this Thursday afternoon. Sports Jam returns in a moment as Jay talks state football with the Osseo Orioles.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Osseo football team headed to the Final Four in Class 6A, and a couple of happy Orioles join us. We'll start with George Foley, speaking for the defense here, because coming into this game, all everybody was talking about was how both teams had such great offenses, but tell me about your defensive performance here against Lakeville North.
Our defense, this year, this week, our coach was telling us that we got to continue to run because all they do is run, and we just got to block them holes and squeeze it tight. And I just want to tell God thank you. We came out here today and did our thing. It was kind of hard. It was tough at first getting in the backfield, but it opened up. It opened up.
Yeah, you ended up getting 5 sacks against our quarterback. You and Cordell Russell doing much of that damage. How much fun is it when you can kind of just pin your ears back and go after the quarterback like that?
It's very fun. It's very fun. Lining QBs up is very fun.
How special has this group been to be a part of and have teammates with that? You guys have rebounded from a couple losses and coming up strong at the end here.
During the summer, we talked, we got together as a group, and we talked that this year we was going to try to go far, and we're still doing it. We're not done yet. We just keep going. Our fans, thanks to our fans and our family for coming out. It's going to be exciting.
Congratulations, George, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
And Christian Tharp doing a nice job offensively, getting a touchdown, but also some key blocks. And you guys blocked well. I mean, it wasn't running up and down the field maybe like last week, but some key offensive plays. Talk about the offensive performance here.
Yeah, Prince, he's a great guy. Just run down the field and we got to set him up. That's all we got to do.
You guys were able to work in enough other things, especially like a touchdown pass to you where you really caught the defense off guard. How important is that to occasionally go to something else and give them something to think about?
Darren, he's like Coach Lamker. He's very tricky. He gets everyone.
How much fun has this whole run been in the playoffs now for you guys? Because I'm sure there was a little bit of disappointment when you had those losses during the season after some injuries and everything. But how much fun has this playoff run been for your team?
Oh, that's great. We all just come out here, practice every day, hard as we all can be, and just come out and play our hardest.
I think a lot of people did expect this to be a real high-scoring game, but was it a fun one to be a part of? A little back and forth, just when it seemed like you had them, they came back at you a little bit and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's playoff football. Everyone's going to score. Everyone's going to get some fourth down opportunities, and our defense just helps us out on that.
All right, Christian, have fun next week, and great to see you guys advancing here in the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, Christian Tharp, fullback for Osseo, and along with George Foley on the defensive side, the Orioles into that Final Four coming up in this playoff football season here in Class 6A. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam, but first, a look at our plays of the week.
Pitch to Collins, 30-yard line. Collins, the 25. He's going to go to the end zone for a touchdown.
Opportunity on a breakaway chance. Solano comes way out to meet it.
Our games of the week are the 2 Class 6A football semifinals. Osseo and Tutino Grays play Thursday. You can watch that game Friday at 7 on Channel 12 and 12.tv. Maple Grove takes on Eastridge Friday night. Watch the game Saturday at both 1 and 10 p.m. And that'll do it for this week's show.
See you next time on Sports Jam.